Welcome to Ultimate World here. Prepare to be amazed and awestruck. Witness nature's fury, the breathtaking power of the planet. Welcome to Ultimate World here. Prepare to be amazed and awestruck. Witness nature's fury, the breathtaking power of the planet. A seemingly ordinary parking lot. Then, suddenly, streets become raging rivers, sweeping away everything in their path. A car battles against a flash flood, caught in a terrifying current. A sturdy-looking bridge is no match for a flash flood's fury. On a tranquil beach, a waterspout dances on the horizon. Hurricane force winds lash palm trees, bending them almost to the breaking point. Rain obscures the scene, creating an eerie, almost apocalyptic atmosphere. A house on stilts, seemingly secure, is suddenly overwhelmed by the waves. It's swept away, tumbling towards the ocean. Everything unfolds so quickly, there's only time to watch in stunned silence. These rocks on the beach may be more than they appear. A closer look reveals 20-million-year-old scallop fossils. Floodwaters inundate a city street. Electricity remains disrupted. A controlled demolition of a bridge offers a powerful contrast to the scenes of destruction. Explosives bring down the structure. Nature's impact can be even more profound. A fiery spectacle unfolds in the night. Molten lava flows into the sea. A ferocious hailstorm hammers a residential area. The force of the hail is incredible. The storm quickly passes, leaving behind a stark reminder. A landslide's impact is nothing short of breathtaking. A substantial portion of a hillside gives way, sending tons of earth and debris crashing below. A stunning fireworks display, but nature often delivers moments of both beauty and destruction. Hailstones pummel windows in what seems to be a quiet home. A massive tornado touches down in a residential neighborhood. Cars and trees are left vulnerable. A home is swept away by floodwaters. The unexpected nature of the event is unsettling. Another bridge is destroyed by the relentless floodwaters. The power of these flash floods is impossible to overstate. Flooding engulfs vehicles in a parking area. Water levels are rising. It's a sobering reminder of the risks posed by extreme weather. Landslide debris piles up, leaving a path of destruction. The aftermath shows the scope of the damage and how difficult it can be to recover. A wall collapses into a flood. The weight of the water is enormous. This moment of devastation causes concern. A bird struggles to maintain its course in fierce winds and heavy rain. The bird represents the struggle of life amidst nature's wrath. A massive landslide is caught on camera. The impact is enormous. A fierce hailstorm blankets a residential street. Vehicles become nearly invisible. Floodwaters submerge cars in a parking lot. The water has quickly risen. This event emphasizes the importance of emergency preparedness. A dam struggles against an overwhelming surge. The dam is at risk. A mud volcano quietly erupts, showing both a unique beauty and its potential to contain valuable minerals. A backyard is left in ruins by Hurricane Maria. The house is gone. Everything has been destroyed. A vehicle is submerged in a flood. The current is powerful. This scene emphasizes the importance of staying aware. A street is inundated with floodwaters. Multiple cars are submerged. Another hailstorm is shown. The hail is large. A large harvester fills a truck with grain. A large harvest. A sandstorm engulfs the Suez Canal. The storm is immense. A group of vehicles is shown covered in mud. The cars have clearly been through a lot. A car is submerged in floodwaters. The water keeps rising. The water is quickly consuming the vehicles. More wind and hail. Trees are bending from the intense wind. A yard is covered in hail. The hailstones are large. A lawn is covered in large hailstones. Floodwaters rush over a bridge. The water is overwhelming. The bridge is swept away. More floodwater. A person is barely visible in the current. The floodwaters show no mercy. A person narrowly escapes death as floodwaters sweep away their car. Cars are submerged in floodwaters. People are running from the rising waters. Floodwaters cascade downstairs and into a building. The stairs are consumed by the water. This is a very dangerous situation. Ocean waves crash against a seawall. The water is powerful, the waves are large. A sudden surge of water rushes into a cove, pushing boats ashore. This unpredictable event emphasizes the need for vigilance. More floodwaters. A building is shown almost consumed by floodwaters. Floodwaters rise inside a building. The water is quickly overwhelming the inside. A tornado narrowly misses a building. Debris is being carried by strong winds. This is a close call. High winds peel the roof off of a house. The structure is clearly weakened. High winds lash trees. The trees are bending from the intensity of the wind. A lightning strike hits a traffic signal. The strike creates a flash of intense light. Scuba divers explore a vibrant coral reef. A hailstorm hits a city street in Spain. The hail is falling extremely hard. Rocks and debris fall on... Whoa, rooftop shenanigans. Looks like someone forgot to secure the shingles, man. Dude, those boats are getting tossed around like salad in a hurricane. Okay, now that's just cool. This is what I call a dance-off. Oh my god, is this real life or a tornado simulator? Hold on to your hats, folks. It's a wild ride. No way! This building is turning into an indoor swimming pool. Time for some unexpected water aerobics. Good Samaritan action. These guys are like, don't worry, we got you. That's some serious teamwork in high waters. This flood is looking less like a natural disaster and more like a tidal wave ... This is insane. A fire and a waterfall. This looks like a scene from a fantasy movie. Horror? That's what you call widespread flooding. The cars are having an unexpected boat ride. Another flood, another bus ride. This time the bus is asterisk really asterisk going for a swim. What the heck? Ocean waves crashing against the shore. Mother Nature is showing off her power. This is epic. Landslide in Alaska. This is seriously terrifying, but also kinda majestic. More flooding and cars getting swept away. This has turned into a demolition derby. Unbelievable, the water is like a monster, sweeping everything in its path. A volcano eruption, Godzilla sneezing fire. This is mind-blowing. Industrial activity as a cause ... makes you think, huh? More flooding looks like a mudslide too. This looks seriously dangerous. Hope everyone is safe. Flooding everywhere. Cars are submerged. This is like something out of a disaster movie. A snow tornado? You've got to be kidding me. That's some next level stuff. Another flood? That's intense. More flooding and people are getting rescued. That's humanity. More heavy winds. The trees are bending like they're in a high-speed car chase. What a crazy storm. Things are flying everywhere. Bridge collapse. Dude ... That's some serious damage. More rooftop destruction. This is getting chaotic. Another road flooded, even more cars taking an unplanned swing. Seriously, more intense ones. 2 cars on a truck, like a box. Another crazy storm. This is a weather apocalypse. Waves crashing on the shore. Mother Nature is not playing games. Bridge gets swept away. This is insane. A beautiful, snowy landscape, a moment of peace. More debris flying around. The force of the wind is crazy. What the heck is happening? A massive explosion at a mine. This is unbelievable. A sinkhole opens in the road. Is this GTA? Subscribe, like, and share for more extreme moments. A dust storm. This looks like the end of the world. A flash flood. This is scary, yo. More heavy winds. A car is getting hit by debris. Crazy stuff. Hail. Golf ball-sized hail. That's some serious weather. Waves crashing on a seawall. This is crazy. Flooding on a road. Cars are submerged. Flooding and people trying to escape. Hope everyone is okay. A cat relaxing on a staircase. The cat is living its best life. More heavy wind. A car is getting hit by debris. Crazy stuff. Flooding everywhere. This is a real disaster. More heavy winds and trees getting destroyed. This is epic. Flooding everywhere. This looks terrifying. Landslide. A house got destroyed. This is unbelievable. A massive dust storm looks like the end of the world. The Taoist hum, this sounds like a sci-fi movie. More flooding and a tree getting ripped apart. Whoa! Crazy winds! Flooding everywhere. Cars are completely submerged. This is a disaster. Beautiful waterfall, a moment of calm after the storm. More flooding and cars floating down the street. Is this a swimming pool or a parking lot? Flooding blocking a road. Traffic is at a standstill. This is chaos. More heavy wind and debris flying around. This is a disaster. Flooding and people trying to escape. Hope everyone is okay. A cat relaxing on a staircase. The cat is living its best life. More heavy wind. A car is getting hit by debris. Crazy stuff. Hail. Golf ball-sized hail. That's serious weather. Waves crashing on a seawall. This is crazy. More flooding. This is terrifying. Flooding on a road. Cars are submerged. To a road, causing a traffic hazard. The road is partially blocked. Floodwaters inundate cars in a parking area. The cars are being submerged. The flooding is extensive. Floodwaters completely cover a railroad track. The flooding is catastrophic. A flash flood surges through a wooded area. The speed of the water is alarming. A powerful windstorm is shown. A sign is being blown down by the wind. Another landslide. The volume of the rocks and debris is massive. Another hailstorm. The hailstones are large and cover the yard. A flood overwhelms a temple in northern Taiwan. The floodwaters are extremely powerful. More intense wind and rain. The wind is extremely powerful. More wind and rain. Trees are bending in the wind. Leaves are blown across a courtyard. The wind is powerful. Floodwaters surge over a dam. The waters show immense force. People are shown relaxing in a mud volcano. The volcano is erupting gently. A newly built ship is launched into the water. The scene is powerful. A powerful tornado. The scene is frightening. An aerial view of an Arctic landscape. This tranquil scene reminds us of nature's beauty. Floodwaters surge through a city street. Cars and motorcycles are swept away. The water is powerful. A domino effect with playing cards, an impressive display of artistry and engineering. Mount Aconcagua, a breathtaking view. The mountain is massive and powerful. A large group of people riding bicycles together. The group is very large. Floodwaters rush through a city street. Cars and motorcycles are swept away. Floodwaters engulf vehicles in a residential area. The waters are extremely powerful. People help to cover a car with a tarp in the midst of a powerful rainstorm. The people are helping. A model city showcases intricate details. More wind and rain. Trees are struggling in the wind. More wind and rain. Trees are bent over from the wind. A harvester harvests a cornfield. A person is wading through floodwaters. The water is deep. The person is alone. A road is shown that is destroyed. The road has been washed away. Floodwaters push against a wall. The waters are overwhelming. A house is falling into a hillside. More wind and rain. Dust is being thrown into the air. Cars are submerged in floodwaters. A plane is shown landing. A unique bridge is shown. More wind and rain. High winds are shown. A building is shown with intense wind. An avalanche tumbles down a mountainside. A motorcycle is shown driving along a road. A landslide is shown happening in the background. A large group of people are shown forming a design on a field. People help push a cart across a street. A dog is shown walking. More floodwaters. Lava flows into the sea. More wind and rain. Cars are submerged in floodwaters. Floodwaters consume a street. Massive amount of rain. A section of a roof is ripped off. A forklift loads a large object onto a truck. A leak is shown from the ceiling of an airport. Cars are submerged in floodwaters. A plane is shown landing. More wind and rain. More wind and rain. More floodwaters. More wind and rain. More wind and rain. Coastal city of Manta, Ecuador. A powerful wave crashed against a beachfront building, tearing it apart piece by piece. California, a wildfire engulfs a hillside, the flames licking at the trees with frightening intensity. This blaze started on September 5th. A residential street in Canada is buried under heavy snowfall. Visibility is drastically reduced. To Doberman pinschers and a white cat share a moment of quiet observation near a doorway. People wade through the rapidly rising waters. battling both the elements and the unexpected chaos. Their resilience, though, speaks volumes. One can almost feel the weight and the cold, both visually and mentally. The after effects of such a natural onslaught are devastating. A pickup truck is being swept away by a raging current. An aerial shot reveals a large shark swimming amidst a massive school of fish. Nature's predatory cycle unfolds in its raw, unadulterated form. The sheer volume of fish is breathtaking, almost as if you are there, witnessing it yourself. A nighttime scene shows floodwaters surging through streets, the power of rain and wind evident in the swift currents. The unexpected electrical energy amidst the storm's fury is somewhat frightening, even in its darkness. A transport bus is stuck in the snow early Monday morning. The sheer volume of snow, again, is impressive. Waves relentlessly batter the coastline, flooding a roadway. The force of the ocean, seemingly unstoppable, is impressive and a bit unnerving. Dashcam footage captures a near-miss highway accident involving multiple semi-trucks. A truck driver narrowly escapes a devastating crash, the dust cloud a stark testament to the close call. A flooded street with water gushing from a damaged manhole. A worker wades through the floodwaters, calmly assessing the situation. The scene evokes both concern and a sense of quiet determination. A Vietnamese village is inundated by floodwaters, houses partially submerged. People watch anxiously, waiting to be evacuated. The relentless surge of water is relentless and awe-inspiring. North Dakota, vehicles are completely buried in snow, tires barely visible. A barge crashed into a dock, the force of the impact sending debris flying. The storm's destructive power is visually evident and impressive. A large alligator walks across a golf course, seemingly oblivious to a small herd of deer nearby. Their winter walk transformed into a snowy adventure. A submerged pickup truck in floodwaters, the scene is a sobering reminder of the dangers of flash floods, a controlled demolition of a large section of rock. The explosion is impressive in its power and scale, almost as if you can feel the tremors. A van involved in a serious accident, its front end crushed and roof peeled back. The driver somehow survived, seemingly unharmed. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Cars navigate streets inundated with floodwaters, the intensity of the rainfall creating a chaotic scene. A man ingeniously uses a pallet of building materials as a makeshift sled, hitching it to his car. A witty reminder to always prioritize safety. Ecuador, strong waves toss small boats around like toys, causing material losses and damage to commercial companies on the beach.
This phenomenon has affected the coastal areas of the provinces of California.
A young girl peacefully sleeps on a makeshift bed outside, finding comfort amidst chaos. Taiwan, a massive landslide barrels down a hillside toward a roadway. A monster truck performs a backflip, a moment of unexpected levity. A large sinkhole forms on a beach. The scene is visually impressive and a bit eerie. Lava flows into the ocean, a dramatic display of contrasting elements. Flooding in a residential area. Water is high. The raw power of the flood is breathtaking. Valencia, Spain. Cars are buried in mud, victims of the storm's fury. People walk through the muck, assessing the situation. A snowy street in Minnesota. The snow has fallen rapidly and unexpectely.
The same is true in Ridgefield, which has a threshold of 4 inches. The suburb had collected over 5 inches by noon, the Weather Service said. Brooklyn Park.
A large wind turbine blade is being transported on a specialized trailer. The logistical challenges of renewable energy are highlighted. A car is completely covered in snow.
Light to moderate snow of up to an inch predicted throughout the metro and portions of central and southeast Minnesota, including in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Shakopee, Stillwater.
A road collapses, creating a large sinkhole. A stark warning about infrastructure vulnerability. Flooding in Johor, Malaysia disrupts transportation and causes significant damage. A house is being swept away by floodwaters. The vulnerability of homes in flood-prone areas is highlighted. Welcome to Ultimate World. What happens when nature unleashes its fury? Prepare to be amazed and awestruck. A haboob, a massive wall of dust and sand, rolls across a residential neighborhood. Visibility is reduced to almost nothing, creating a surreal scene. A massive landslide barrels down a mountainside, narrowly missing onlookers below. The sheer size and speed of the debris is frightening. From various angles, we see the full scale of the landslide's devastation. The chaos and the potential for disaster are evident. Floodwaters engulf a city street, overflowing the banks of a river. This scene isn't just dramatic, it's a stark reminder of the impact of climate change. A person wearing a life vest and helmet carefully navigates through the rapidly rising floodwaters. A testament to resilience in the face of adversity. A motorcyclist enjoys a serene ride across a bridge on a beautiful day. The contrast between calm and storm is striking. Floodwaters invade a shopping mall, inundating the lower levels. The devastating impact on businesses is clear. Cars struggle to navigate floodwaters, surging over a road. The scene is utterly unbelievable and a potent image of climate change's potential impact. Molten lava flows from a volcano, creating a dramatic display of fiery power. Nature's raw might is truly awe-inspiring. Emergency personnel wade through floodwaters, carrying a rescue boat. Acts of bravery in moments of crisis often go unnoticed. A raging river, swollen with flood water, surges past homes and buildings. A haboob rolls in, suddenly blinding drivers on the road. Hurricane Helene's landfall in North Carolina. Cyclone Fury, buses and cars are overturned and submerged by floodwaters. The scale of the destruction is immense.
During this time of distress and work tirelessly to bring life back to normal. In Vicar Vandy, rise.
Fierce storm brings heavy rain and wind. The intensity of the storm is shown as it passes over a neighborhood. A camera on the deck of a boat captures the chaotic effects of a storm. The wind and rain hit the vessel. From the inside of a building, the intensity of the wind is clearly evident. Another look at the storm outside from inside a building. An overwhelming and unexpected sight. A monitor lizard scales shelves in a store an unexpected and amusing moment. A rock slide sends a cascade of rocks tumbling down a hillside. The sheer power of the event is awe-inspiring.
Slide has occurred, causing massive devastation. If you think of the power of nature in situations like this,
Floodwaters inundate a street. People use nets to rescue what they can from their flooded homes. Powerful waves crash into a cove, tossing around small boats. The dramatic swells are unusual and alarming. Floodwaters submerge a road, isolating a town. The vulnerability. A unique natural landscape. More floodwaters. Fireflies light up a forest at night. More floodwaters. A transparency creature. More wind and rain. More floodwaters. More floodwaters at night, emergency vehicles. A stroller is shown being blown away by flying into a car. Lava flows into the ocean. A car is swept away by floodwaters. A bus driver stops to help an elderly person. More lava flows. Shadow puppets. More floodwaters. A bridge is shown collapsing. More wind and rain. Cars are submerged in floodwaters. Damage to a bus stop. More floodwaters at night. More floodwaters. A unique bridge. More wind and rain. More hail. A waterfall. A wooden deck of flash flood. More floodwaters. More wind and rain. Floodwaters. A roof is shown being blown away by the wind. More wind and rain. More wind and rain. A bridge is shown after it has collapsed. A large iceberg is shown floating. More wind and rain. Floodwaters consume an escalator. Floodwaters. Floodwaters are shown. Powerful water flows. Roads and homes were affected. Floodwaters engulf a roadway. Floodwaters. A row is shown that has been destroyed. More hail. People are shown waiting in line. A building is shown destroyed. More wind. Lava flows into the ocean. More wind and rain. More wind and rain. People are shown standing near floodwaters. A unique bridge. A large ship is shown being launched. People are shown watching a sinkhole. To people walking during a heavy rainstorm. More floodwaters. A small structure is shown in the floodwaters. More people forming a pattern. More floodwaters. A home is shown destroyed by a landslide. A woman is shown in a car. A scientist points at a graph. Floodwaters carry debris. A transparency creature. An aerial view of a volcanic eruption. A dog sticks its head out of a car window. Cars are shown submerged in floodwaters. A cloud is shown. A landslide is shown. Water flows into a parking garage. Cars are submerged in floodwaters. Floodwaters. A black and white photo. Water flowing over a road. Floodwaters consuming a building. Lava flows into the ocean. People watching. A person riding a bicycle. Floodwaters. A sinkhole. A Ferris wheel next to a sinkhole. A black and white photo of an airburst. More wind and rain. A creek overflowing its banks. More wind and rain. More wind and rain. A dust storm. A person in a wheelchair walking. Car submerged in floodwaters, a plane landing.
Meanwhile, residents must also take responsibility for their own safety by staying informed and preparing for emergencies.
More wind and rain. More wind and rain. A dust storm. More floodwaters. A fire tornado. More floodwaters, a house collapsing. tornado destroying a warehouse. A landslide. More devastation. More floodwaters. A unique rock formation. More wind and rain. A vehicle driving through a flooded area. DIY project, this looks like it's going to take a while. More flooding, people are getting rescued. That's humanity. More flooding and damage. This is just heartbreaking. Heavy snowfall, stay warm everyone. Wind is destroying trees. More flooding. A sea of ice, this is unbelievable. More flooding, this is insane. Flooding at an airport, that's gotta delay some flights. A dam releasing water, this is intense. More flooding, this is crazy. More wind and damage, rooftops are being torn off. Volcanic eruption, that's some serious heat. More flooding. Flooding and a road being destroyed. Whoa. More flooding. This is epic. A tornado. This is terrifying, but also amazing to see. The aftermath of a natural disaster. This is sad, but also shows resilience. A car driving through a flood, Shaolin soccer move. Penguins on the beach at sunset, a moment of peace and beauty. Charging a cat, this is unexpected and adorable. People covered in mud, this is unexpectedly funny. Landslide, this is scary, but amazing. Flooding destroying cars, this is a disaster. Tornado, this is epic. Deep sea jellyfish, this is fascinating. Flooding and a landslide. This is a disaster. Shadow puppets. This is unexpectedly creative. Landslide, more destruction. Heavy winds and homes getting destroyed. More heavy winds, a window gets broken. More flooding, houses are completely submerged. Heavy wind and rain, this is intense. Flooding and debris, this is a real disaster. More heavy winds, a tree got destroyed. Fireflies in the forest, a magical moment of peace. A deep-sea creature, this is fascinating. A scare igniting methane bubbles on a frozen lake. That's some serious skill. A plane flying low over a city, this is incredible. Volcanic eruption, this is epic and terrifying. More flooding, a trailer is getting destroyed. Hailstorm, this is crazy. Tornado, this is terrifying. More flooding, a bridge is being destroyed. Strange cloud formation, looks like a UFO. More heavy winds and damage. Sinkhole, another one. Heavy winds and rain, this is intense. Sinkhole, that's crazy. More flooding, cars are submerged. Flooding and debris, this is a real disaster. More heavy winds. Flooding destroying buildings. Hail and a tornado, this is unbelievable. Heavy winds and cars. Massive flooding, this is a disaster. More flooding, this is scary. Flooding and people trying to get to safety. More boats are getting tossed around like toys. Flooding on the road, cars are stuck. A truck and a muddy rock, this is crazy. Massive sinkholes, that's some serious ground collapse. Heavy winds and destruction. Flooding and cars are submerged. Heavy rain and cars driving through floodwaters. Bridge collapse. Landslide. This is scary. More flooding.
A driver of a bloody rock truck.
Tornado. This is intense. Dust storm over a ship. This is crazy. Strange cloud formation. Looks like a UFO. More flooding. Cars are completely submerged. Sheep herding creating a heart shape. That's adorable. Glacier calving. This is an unbelievable and powerful sight of nature. Flooding on a bus, that's wild. Flooding everywhere. This is a real disaster. Heavy wind and rain. Flooding and cars getting submerged. Waves crashing on a shore. More flooding. Houses are completely submerged. Tornado approaching houses. This is crazy. More heavy winds and debris. Hailstorm. Flooding in a city, a fire truck is driving through the flood waters. Flooding and a river overflowing. More flooding. Houses are submerged. Tornado approaching a road at night. This is terrifying. Heavy rain and wind. To tornadoes over the sea, this is epic. A jet engine test. This is cool. The Tawashum mystery continues. Heavy winds and trees. This is intense. Flooding and people are getting rescued. A bridge collapse. This is crazy. Ice calving. This is a stunning sight. More flooding. Flooding in a city, boats are floating down the street. More heavy winds.
Can you guess what this engine is used for? This is definitely an interesting mystery.
Cleaning a rug, this is therapeutic. Heavy winds and rain. More flooding, a trailer is getting destroyed.
Left travelers and residents stranded for almost an hour until the water level was set.
A man dressed as Jason Voorhees on a rooftop. This is unexpected and hilarious. Beautiful scenery, a moment of calm. A meteor shower. This is amazing. More flooding, a car is driving through the floodwaters. Windmill, that's unexpected. Heavy wind and rain. Cars are getting gassed during a hailstorm. This is crazy. Volcanic eruption. This is epic and terrifying. Shopping carts flying through the wind. This is hilarious. Flooding, a car is stuck in the mud. A man walking on power lines. This guy is a total baller, like a boss. More heavy winds, debris is flying everywhere. More flooding, houses are submerged.
Set up shelters for those displaced from their homes, and volunteers
Heavy winds and a tree falling.
to those in need. Local governments have also asked state
Flooding and debris. This is a real disaster. People in a mud bath. This is hilarious. Heavy winds and trees getting destroyed. Waves crashing on rocks. This is wild. More heavy winds. More flooding and damage. Flooding is destroying buildings. More flooding. This is a disaster. A van is getting swept away.
residents had to deal with the aftermath of the disaster, including clearing
A surfer enjoying the waves. This is a great contrast to all the destruction.
belongings.
Fireflies in the forest, a magical moment of peace. A deep-sea creature, this is fascinating. A skater igniting methane bubbles on a frozen lake. That's some serious skill. A plane flying low over a city, this is incredible. Volcanic eruption. This is epic and terrifying. More flooding, a trailer is getting destroyed. Hailstorm, this is crazy. Tornado, this is terrifying. More flooding, a bridge is being destroyed. Strange cloud formation, looks like a UFO. More heavy winds and damage. Cleaning a rug, this is therapeutic. Heavy winds and rain. Forest fire, this is scary. Sinkhole, this is unbelievable. mini tornado. This is insane. Shadow puppets. This is surprisingly creative. More ice cabin. A tarpon jumping for a fish. This is amazing. More flooding. More landslides. This is a disaster. A man doing parkour, that's some serious skill, like a boss. Heavy winds and a tree falling, this is intense.
Swirled in the air as a mini tornado hit Luton, leaving chaos and destruction in its wake.
Vast, white expanse, a breathtaking yet brutal winter landscape. A line of riders cuts through a blizzard, their faces obscured by the swirling snow. The wind howls. These are the Mongolian Naadam Games. Even a fierce winter storm won't stop them. High winds whip snow into a frenzy. This isn't just a blizzard. It's a snow tornado, a rare and powerful phenomenon. It can sweep away everything in its path. A gaping sinkhole opens in the middle of a busy street. Water gushed from the earth. The avalanche on Kapuch Lake in Nepal is impressive. Huge chunks of snow slide down from the mountainside after the 7.9 magnitude earthquake on May 12, 2008. The earthquake's impact is immense, buildings reduced to rubble, a stark reminder of the Earth's power. A rocket launch, a moment of incredible technological achievement, a testament to human ingenuity and the majesty of space exploration. A small structure is completely submerged, the relentless power of water. A hailstorm descends, blanketing the city in a sea of ice. These extreme events are inevitable, a grim reminder of nature's power. Tons of earth and rock cascade down, swallowing everything in its path. The speed is breathtaking. More flooding, cars become submerged in rapidly rising waters. People struggle to escape. A window is shattered by hail. The debris rains down. A waterfall, the sheer power of nature is stunning. But it's also a potent symbol of the forces that can destroy. A woman's hairdo unexpectedly and comically resembles a tall lamppost. Sometimes nature's humor is subtle. Another hailstorm, the intensity of the wind and ice is breathtaking. The storm's power is awe-inspiring. Flooding again, this time, cars are partially submerged in the rising water. Dangerous toxins are released into our fragile atmosphere. Hurricane-force winds, trees are bent almost double. A nighttime dust devil. This is astonishing. A massive landslide, dirt and rock cascade down the mountainside. It's a close call for the village below. Flooding in Spain, roads and homes submerged. The impact is widespread, a stark reminder of our vulnerability. A volcanic eruption, molten lava flows down the mountain. The power of the earth, the power of nature's destruction. The scenes are awe-inspiring but also terrifying. A fiery volcanic eruption. The spectacle is both breathtaking and dangerous. A halo around the sun, another impressive natural phenomenon. A reminder that there is beauty even in the face of disaster. Bosnia, a town devastated by flooding and landslides. The environmental damage is catastrophic and almost irreversible. More flooding, rapidly flowing waters carry debris and cars. Flooding continues, homes are submerged. The scene is overwhelming. A dust storm, this is truly an awe-inspiring, terrifying sight. More flooding, a truck is stopped by trees, narrowly escaping being swept away. A backyard swimming pool overflows with hail. The scale of this hailstorm is unbelievable. High winds and rain batter an airport. The force is overwhelming. High winds, trees bend and sway. The sheer power of nature is evident. A dust storm in Brazil. A family witnesses the massive dust cloud approaching their home. A stunning yet terrifying sight. More flooding, cars are partially submerged. The power of nature continues to wreak havoc. Flooding near a railway track. Water rushes over the tracks, disrupting train service. A car is submerged in a muddy flood. This is a scene of utter devastation. Entire ecosystems are unbalanced and fragile. Huge waves crash against a structure on the shore. The sea is relentless. A powerful reminder of nature's unpredictable forces. Bending, the scene is chaotic. The strength of the wind is frightening. A dam overflows, water cascades over the spillway. A powerful image of the forces of nature. Flooding continues, cars are submerged, finite natural resources are rapidly depleting. A volcanic eruption, lava flows, an unimaginable beauty, yet terrifying in its power. Flooding in India, people are being rescued by boat. A car is airborne in the desert, a seemingly impossible feat. A volcanic eruption in Iceland, lava flows. The incredible force of nature. A dust devil, another powerful example of nature's raw power. A massive cloud of pollen erupts from a tree, a rare and astonishing sight. High winds and rain, a powerful storm is underway. A dust devil, the shadows cast are eerie. High winds and rain batter a home, a powerful storm. A dust storm, the sheer scale and intensity are awe-inspiring. A dust devil lifts debris into the air. The force is incredible. Hail shatters a window. The impact is violent and sudden. A man struggles to keep his umbrella from being blown away by the wind. The force of nature is immense. Flooding in India, rescue workers help people escape the rising water. A controlled demolition of a bridge pier, a man-made structure yielding to planned destruction. A dust devil, This is a powerful scene. The visual is impressive. High winds and rain continue. The power of nature. A dust devil in a city street. This is a terrifying scene. High winds and rain batter a town. Trees are blown down. The force is extreme. A dog rides a skateboard. Sometimes there is humor in the face of adversity. A massive tornado. These are some of nature's most devastating forces. A dog enjoys the cool air from a car window, a brief moment of peace. Flooding, a car is almost completely submerged. The scene is grim. A car performs a stunt jump over a canal, a remarkable feat. More flooding, cars are submerged in rapidly rising waters. The destruction of wetlands removes natural buffers. A tree falls during a storm. The power of nature is evident. Flooding at night, the water is rising quickly. Sea levels are rapidly rising. A controlled demolition of a bridge, a man-made structure is destroyed. A glacier, the majesty of nature. A tornado approaches houses, the dark clouds are ominous. A tornado in China, the swirling winds carry debris. The scene is terrifying. A volcano erupts in Iceland, the power and beauty of nature. High winds and rain shatter a window of a building. The force is frightening. A small flame flickers in a crevice in a rock face. A landslide, a car narrowly misses being hit by debris. High winds and rain, the power of the storm. Flooding in Japan, a car is slowly driving through the water. The impact is widespread. High winds and hail, a powerful storm is underway. Flooding in the United States, homes are partially submerged. The airport had to cancel and delay flights. High winds and rain, the storm is intense. Ice crystals form on a beach, a unique sight. A car drives through a muddy puddle. The scene is chaotic. A car is submerged in a flood. The water is rising quickly. Heat waves are becoming more intense and longer. Many boats are lined up on a river bank, a unique sight. An upside-down cup experiment. Water remains in the cup, defying gravity. High winds and rain, trees are swaying, the force of nature. A car is submerged in a flood, the water is rising. The loss of biodiversity reduces the Earth's resilience. Flooding in Uganda, people are watching as the water rises. At least 45 households were completely buried. A landslide, a dramatic scene of destruction. High winds and hail, the intensity is extreme. A road is damaged by a landslide. Flooding weakens the land. High winds and hail. A window is broken. A deck is covered in hail, an impressive amount of hail. A cat attempts to climb a wall, a funny moment. A floor is being cleaned, a moment of calm amidst the chaos. Flooding, people watch as a car is swept away. The force of the water is overwhelming. A lion and a dog meet, a moment of unlikely friendship. A train, the sound of a distant diesel engine. Taos, New Mexico, a beautiful landscape. Flooding, cars are driving through water. The choice is ours, transform our ways or face the ultimate collapse. Power lines down, a fire breaks out, emergency crews respond. Flooding in California, cars are partially submerged. The airport had to cancel and delay flights. Fish are washed ashore, a consequence of rising sea levels. High winds and rain, the intensity is extreme. Flooding in China, cars are submerged, global water supplies are dwindling. A landslide, cars are stopped, mitigation efforts are underway. High winds and rain, trees are swaying. Flooding in Uganda, a highway is flooded. A tornado over the water. The scene is breathtaking and alarming. High winds and rain, a patio structure is destroyed. Flooding in China, a gas station is almost completely underwater. Noise pollution is disrupting animal lives. High winds and rain, trees are swaying, the storm is severe. Hail covers the ground, the intensity is incredible. A dust storm, the sun is obscured. A car falls into a sinkhole, the scene is dramatic. Flooding, a boat is almost completely submerged. Lakes and reservoirs overflowed. Lightning strikes a building, the scene is dramatic. Flooding, water rushes downstairs. The whole planet is in danger. High winds and hail, the intensity is extreme. A fire tornado, a rare and dramatic weather phenomenon. A haboob, a dust storm. A waterfall, a stunning scene. High winds and rain, a man runs for cover. A dust storm, a massive cloud of orange and brown approaches. Flooding, cars are submerged. Light pollution is interfering with wildlife. Flooding in Uganda, boats are used for rescue efforts. High winds, a tree is blown down. Flooding, cars are partially submerged. Flooding, homes are submerged. Flooding in Uganda, a bridge is flooded.
Charles O'Donoghue, spokesman for the Office of the Wildest, which oversees
An avalanche, a powerful scene.
Creating a mesmerizing but dangerous scene. This is a great journey.
A sinkhole opens up in a road. The destruction is evident. Flooding in China, cars are submerged. High winds and rain, trees are swaying. Flooding, a car is driving through water. The tipping point is near. High winds and rain at a train station, the storm is intense. Dark clouds, a tornado is approaching. Flooding, cars are submerged. A glacier, a massive piece of ice breaks off. The majesty and power of nature. High winds and rain at a gas station, the storm is intense. A riverbank collapses. Unchecked sprawl of cities increases the risk of irreversible collapse. High winds and rain, the storm is severe. High waves crash against a wall, people run for cover. A tornado, a rainbow appears in the distance. Flooding in Uganda, homes are submerged. A dust storm, a house is almost completely surrounded by dust. Fish are washed ashore on a beach, a consequence of climate change. A dam overflows, water rushes over the spillway. A powerful scene. A swarm of locusts, their destructive feeding habits are well known. A sinkhole opens up in a road, the destruction is evident. Flooding, cars are submerged. Investment in climate adaptation is not a choice. Cars on a car carrier drive down a road. People are sitting in a cafe. A ceiling is damaged. High winds and hail. A car drives through the storm. Flooding, cars are submerged. Countless species are driven to extinction. A circular bridge at night, a man-made marvel. Flooding in Uganda, a van is partially submerged. Citizens are being directed to relocate. High winds, debris is scattered everywhere. Flooding, buildings and cars are partially submerged. Storms will become more frequent and unpredictable. High winds and rain, the storm is severe. A tree falls during a storm, the scene is dramatic. Spiderwebs cover the ground, a beautiful yet unusual scene. An avalanche, a breathtaking and powerful scene. High winds and hail, a structure is battered by the storm. A waterspout, a rare and impressive weather phenomenon. High winds and rain, a car is being battered by the storm. High winds and rain, debris is flying, the storm is incredibly powerful. High winds and dust, a dust devil forms in a parking lot. A bridge collapses into a river. The destruction is total. Flooding, a truck is driving through deep water. A warming atmosphere holds more moisture. High winds and rain, the storm is extreme. Flooding, cars are submerged, countless creatures' habitats are destroyed. Flooding, a structure is collapsing into the water. Storms will become more frequent and intense. High winds and rain, cars are driving through water. Flooding, cars are submerged, the scene is chaotic. A landslide on a flooded road. Winter storms caused dangerous flooding. A tornado, this is a crazy scene. Flooding in India, buses are overturned. Cyclone Mandis unleashed torrential rains and widespread flooding. A volcanic eruption, lava flows into the ocean. The power of nature. Hail on a lake, the intensity of the storm is evident. Storms are growing more severe and frequent. A large group of people in a courtyard, a moment of calm amidst the chaos. High winds and hail, cars are being battered by the storm. The loss of biodiversity is reducing the Earth's resilience. An avalanche, the power and force of the snow are evident. High winds and rain, debris is flying, the storm is severe and relentless. Flooding, a car is driving through deep water. Authorities are working to improve infrastructure. A man drinks coffee while riding a horse, a moment of peace and tranquility. High winds and water gushing from a broken water main. The loss of biodiversity reduces the Earth's resilience. A tornado, the year of darkness, is marked by prolonged storms. A landslide in Italy, buildings collapse. A major incident occurred in the province of Matera. Flooding in Uganda, people are being rescued. The Uganda Red Cross is assisting with the emergency. Flooding at night, a sinkhole opens up in the street. Rising temperatures are causing permafrost to melt. Flooding, cars are submerged in the rising waters. Road closures and traffic jams are widespread. A crow sits on a car windshield, a small moment of nature. Flooding, cars are submerged. Flooding, cars are completely submerged. Flooding, boats are damaged, the sea is rough. Flooding, debris is flowing down a street. Innovative solutions are being developed. Flooding, a car is driving through water. High winds and rain at a bus station. The storm is severe and intense. A person drives a dirt bike down a sand dune, a stunning landscape. High winds, a structure is damaged. Flooding, cars are partially submerged. A volcanic eruption in Indonesia. Smoke and ash fill the sky. Steam rises from the ground. The eruption continues. A man works to secure his roof during a heavy downpour. A luxury yacht is engulfed in flames. The intensity and quick spread of fire is scary. A snowplow clears a street. The scale of the snowfall is astonishing. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, cars are submerged in floodwaters. Waves crash against a seawall. The raw power of the ocean is evident. A lot of flow makes its way down the side of a volcano. A skilled worker uses a piece of heavy equipment to place a water bottle on top of a tree stump. Flooding in Johor, Malaysia, homes are submerged. The intensity and scale of the flood is visually striking. Ecuador, strong waves toss small boats around like toys, causing material losses and damage to commercial companies on the beach. A lightning strike hits the ground near a chain-link fence, causing a small explosion. A desert area is flooded by a sudden downpour. The visual transformation is astonishing. A building collapses in a controlled demolition, creating a massive dust cloud. The scale and intensity are stunning. Flooding in Johor, Malaysia, the floodwaters are high and have caused much damage.
Caused severe flooding that killed 3 people and displaced more than 90,000 people.
Ecuador, waves crash over a seawall and flood a nearby plaza. People run for safety.
Home to Peru's largest port, has closed several beaches and banned tourist boats and fishermen from entering.
A massive wind turbine blade is transported on a specialized trailer. A boat skims across a glacial lake, a stunning backdrop to highlight nature's beauty. A dust storm suddenly engulfs a roadway, reducing visibility to near zero. A truck is shown driving through the storm. The intensity is awe-inspiring. Shipping containers are toppled from a ship. The impact is stunning visually. A pickup truck crashed into the trailer of a semi-truck in snowy conditions.
Another semi-truck driver then collided with the first semi.
Johor, Malaysia, flooding engulfs several roads, including Jalan Sekolah in Kampung Buloh Kasab and Jalan Kampung Bukit in Kampung. A controlled demolition of a large pile of material sends a massive cloud of dust and debris into the air. A very small car is shown at a gas station. The small size of the vehicle is cute and funny. A hippopotamus at the Philadelphia Zoo playfully interacts with a person receiving a pumpkin. A bear is shown riding on a motorcycle. London, Ontario, Canada, a large amount of snow has fallen, causing the roof of a building to collapse.
With temperatures rising to 70 on
Fort Lauderdale, Florida, cars are submerged in floodwaters.
heavy downpours.
A street is covered in floodwaters.
In Broward County.
Johor, Malaysia, cars are submerged in floodwaters.
Dryden and
Police cars are shown on a snowy street in Ontario, Canada. A piece of heavy equipment is shown delicately placing a bottle on top of two other bottles. The precision is rather impressive. A large wind turbine blade is being transported on a specialized trailer. Hail covers a beach. The sheer volume is overwhelming. Ecuador, waves crash over a roadway, flooding the street. Ontario, Canada, vehicles are buried in snow.
In eastern Ontario, environment shoot for greenstone, along with Red Lake, Sioux Lookout, and Savant Lake areas.
A large inflatable slide is blown into the air by strong winds. Johor, Malaysia, buildings are submerged in floodwaters. A damaged pickup truck is being loaded onto a tow truck. Minnesota, cars are completely buried in snow.
Post on social media, the city said residential street. It's a section of the Badlands that goes through that area, so there's quite a few hills. Highway Patrol Sergeant Kobe Hull said.
Minnesota, more cars are shown completely buried in snow. The sheer volume of snow is impressive.
Meanwhile, Phil Helfrich was fueling up his car in Windy and largely barren Bismarck.
Ontario, Canada, a Pure Later delivery truck is shown stuck in the snow. A pickup truck is shown being pulled up a steep incline by a tow truck. This is certainly impressive work. Johor, Malaysia, more flooding is shown. Johor, Malaysia, more flooding is shown.
Natural disasters. As climate change is causing more and more severe weather, governments and
Johor, Malaysia, more flooding is shown.
Prime Minister Anwar.
Johor, Malaysia, people are shown wading through floodwaters at night. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, floodwaters are shown entering a building. A car is shown driving through the floodwaters. Ecuador, strong waves are shown crashing against a seawall.
But no one should go into the sea because the current could drag.
Johor, Malaysia, more flooding is shown. Taiwan, a landslide is shown coming down a mountain. A car is shown driving away from the landslide. A building is being demolished in a controlled explosion. Ontario, Canada. A car is shown spinning out of control on a snowy highway.
Nearly 40 of them causing injuries.
Ecuador, strong waves are shown crashing against a seawall. A lifeguard is shown helping people evacuate the beach. A street vendor is shown selling candy to a girl lying in bed on the street. Taiwan, a landslide is shown coming down a mountain. Waves are shown crashing against a seawall in England. A man is shown trying to zipline across a body of water, but fails to make it across. Johor, Malaysia, more flooding is shown. A circular walkway is shown high above a forest. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, more floodwaters are shown.
The local media captured another resident of the job, helping clear debris off the drains to allow the
Johor, Malaysia, buildings are submerged in floodwaters. Johor, Malaysia, more flooding is shown. Ecuador, waves are shown crashing against a floating dock, causing it to detach. Taiwan, a landslide is shown coming down a mountain, narrowly missing a car. A truck is shown falling into a deep pit. Ecuador, more floodwaters are shown. A bright orange streak is shown in the sky. Johor, Malaysia, more flooding is shown. Minnesota, a person is shown shoveling snow in front of their house.
ditch along the left lane.
Ontario, Canada, vehicles are completely covered in snow.
As of Monday morning, North Shore areas, Nora, Atikokan, Water,
Fort Lauderdale, Florida, floodwaters are shown covering a roadway.
it went away. Eventually, the sun started to shine.
A dam is shown releasing water. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, floodwaters are shown covering a roadway. A woman is shown seeking shelter from the rain. A ship is shown at a port in Valencia, Spain. The ship is damaged. A car is shown being towed away by a tow truck in Turkey. A ship is shown at a port in Valencia, Spain. The ship is damaged. Ontario, Canada, vehicles are completely covered in snow.
Snowfall totals were mostly under 6 inches.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida, floodwaters are shown covering a parking lot. Texas, a wildfire is shown burning in Bastrop County. A man is shown using a large plastic tub as a boat in floodwaters. Ontario, Canada, a snowy road is shown. Ontario, Canada, a Pure Later delivery truck is shown stuck in the snow. A person is shown shoveling snow near the truck.
Closed and canceled events multiple times.
Ontario, Canada, a house is completely covered in snow. Ontario, Canada, a car is shown driving on a snowy road.
including the great
A truck carrying a car is shown driving under a low bridge. A car is shown balanced precariously on a ramp. A car is shown driving near a train track. Ecuador, boats are shown tossed around by large waves. Hail is shown covering the ground. Ecuador, a boat is shown overturned in the ocean.
Salinas and Bolivar. The sidewalks were closed and access to the sea was suspended. Hector de la Rosa, the director of risk management in Bolivar, said that the docks and food outlets were seriously damaged.
A large concrete structure is shown collapsing. Taiwan, a landslide is shown coming down a mountain. Zion National Park, Utah, a rock fall is shown coming down a cliffside. Waves are shown crashing on a beach. Zion National Park, Utah, a rock fall is shown coming down a cliffside. A plane is shown landing on a beach. Texas, a wildfire is shown burning in Bastrop County. A helicopter is shown dropping water on the fire. Minnesota, a snowplow is shown clearing snow from a street. A building is shown on fire. A large statue of the Hulk is shown. A plane is shown flying low over a beach. Ontario, Canada, a building is shown covered in snow. Ecuador, large waves are shown crashing into a harbor. Ontario, Canada, vehicles are shown buried in snow. Ontario, Canada, a house is completely covered in snow. Snow is shown falling on a hillside in Spain. A motorcycle is shown crashing into the side of a van. A bear is shown swimming in a stream. A large wasp nest is shown attached to the back of a scooter. Johor, Malaysia, more flooding is shown.
allowing water to flow to other areas and causing flash floods. The Johor floods have had improved.
Hurricane Ian caused severe flooding in the Lahaina area. A house is shown partially submerged. Johor, Malaysia, more flooding is shown.
Agricultural sector is particularly vulnerable, with floods down.
A helicopter is shown flying over a city. Molten metal is shown being poured into a container. Ecuador, more floodwaters are shown. The body of a young victim is shown on the beach. Minnesota, cars and streets are covered in snow.
Snow had fallen in the Twin Cities, which typically gets over a foot, 30 centimeters, of snow by mid-December.
Strong winds are shown blowing through a city. The demolition of an old power plant is shown. Johor, Malaysia, more flooding is shown. Johor, Malaysia, more flooding is shown. A car is shown driving through floodwaters. A truck is shown sinking in a lake. Malaga, Spain, a street is shown covered in floodwaters. A person on a bicycle is shown riding through the floodwaters. Johor, Malaysia, more flooding is shown. 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 Lava is shown flowing down a volcano. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, tow trucks are shown working to remove stalled cars from floodwaters. Malaga, Spain, a street is shown covered in floodwaters. Strong winds are shown blowing through a city. A small boat is shown being tossed around by waves on a beach. An eel is shown underwater. Taiwan, a landslide is shown coming down a mountain. Johor, Malaysia, a school is shown submerged in floodwaters. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, floodwaters are shown covering a roadway. Ice is shown covering a riverbank. A jet is shown flying through the sky. North Carolina, large waves are shown crashing against a house on the beach, causing it to collapse. A cruise ship is shown crashing into a dock in Venice, Italy. A dust storm is shown blowing through a city. A dust storm is shown blowing through a city. Minnesota, a highway is shown with several stalled vehicles. A plane is shown landing on a beach. A truck is shown being filled with a dark blue liquid. A large avalanche is shown coming down a mountain. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, floodwaters are shown covering a street. The ability of human settlements in the face of nature's power is clear. A subtle reminder of the constant changes occurring in the natural world. More heavy rains and winds a reminder of nature's chaotic power. A flooded street showcases the devastating power of water. A landslide is captured by a dash cam. A large excavator works to clear the road. Hundreds of people move in a synchronized fashion to create patterns on a field. A complex man-made creation, in contrast to the raw power of nature. Unprecedented flooding in India showcases the overwhelming impact of severe weather events. Floodwaters undermine a home, causing it to collapse. A dramatic display of a storm cloud with intense winds and heavy rains. A residential street is buffeted by strong winds and heavy rain. Snow rollers form in a field. The wind is a major player in shaping the snow into these intriguing formations. A home is battered by a hailstorm, showcasing the destructive power of hail. Rescue personnel work to help a person through a flooded area. Heavy rains cause significant damage in Spain. People jump into a pool of water at the edge of a waterfall. The video serves as a reminder that nature is powerful and can be unforgiving. A sinkhole appears on a city street during heavy rains, creating yet another dramatic visual. A large pod of dolphins swims in the ocean, creating beautiful patterns. A peaceful scene after many visuals of devastation. More flooding inundates buildings and vehicles. The scale of the damage is vast. A swing set in a backyard is battered by high winds and heavy rains. A haboob shows no signs of slowing. Floodwaters rush into a neighborhood, submerging vehicles. The sudden and powerful nature of this event is alarming. Floodwaters rush down a hillside, flooding homes below. More heavy rains and hail fall in a city. Floodwaters isolate a Swiss village. The impact on the lives of the residents is enormous. A haboob continues to roll across the landscape, a common sight in many areas around the world. Floodwaters are overwhelming buildings. The loss of natural habitat is extensive. A landslide caused by heavy rains destroys a building. The potential for further damage is real. Floodwaters inundate a residential street, showcasing just how powerful and destructive these events can be. Another flooded area causes people to watch in amazement as floodwaters rise. A home collapses into a flood. This is yet another example of the impact of severe weather. A large group of people watch as a home is destroyed by floodwaters. Their reaction is a mixture of concern and helplessness. Floodwaters rush down the street, swallowing a vehicle. The powerful current is clearly shown. More floodwaters rush through a building. Heavy hail covers the ground in front of a building. A woman swims underwater with manta rays, a peaceful scene juxtaposed with the visuals of chaos that came before. More intense winds and rain lash a neighborhood. Heavy hail continues to pound the ground. A home's roof is destroyed by a storm. The video shows how destructive these storms can be. Floodwaters inundate homes. More footage of the storm and intense winds. A man stands on a balcony as he watches as a storm pummels his neighborhood. Another video of floodwaters rushing through a neighborhood. A house takes a direct hit from the storm. A storm causes damage to parked vehicles. Fishermen watch in awe as powerful waves crash onto the shore. A tornado rips through a neighborhood, tossing debris into the air. A person walks along a fence as floodwaters surround them. Heavy winds and rain batter trees and buildings. A haboob creates zero visibility in a neighborhood. Floodwaters rush into a basement, showcasing the quick and devastating power of water. Floodwaters wash a car onto a wall. Floodwaters rush through a city street, engulfing cars and other vehicles. More heavy rains and winds continue to hammer the area. A caravan of camels walks down a city street. A helicopter flies over a mountain. Heavy snow falls in western New York. A group of people attempt a rescue in a flooded area. More hail falls on the ground. People wade through floodwaters to fish. Floodwaters cause a vehicle to tip over. The power of the water is apparent. A landslide sweeps across a road. More hail covers the ground in an urban setting. Floodwaters rush through a village, flooding homes. The video shows the devastation these events can cause. Intense winds and rain lash a tree. Floodwaters cover a street and cars are submerged. More flooding shows how vulnerable homes can be. Waves crash onto the shore and move small boats. A person rides horseback and shoots an arrow, a contrasting image to the storms shown before. An earthquake tilts a building. People at a beach watch a waterspout form in the distance. A house's roof is blown off by strong winds. A gas station is enveloped in a dust storm. A person drives past a tornado. An Amazon truck drives down a highway during a snowstorm. A rare gemstone is shown in detail, a brief pause in the video's pacing. A white van drives down a street during a severe storm. More intense winds and rains batter a neighborhood. Strong winds bend over trees during a storm. A landslide causes damage in a city. Floodwaters rush down a street, sweeping debris along with them. More heavy winds and rain. A newly built ship is launched into the water. A long line of vehicles are stopped on a desert highway. A tornado forms near a road. Large waves crash over a wall and flood a street. More intense winds and rains. Hail covers parked cars. A building is battered by strong winds and heavy rains. More heavy rains and winds. A massive avalanche. A dust devil forms near buildings. More intense rains and winds. A bus is partially submerged in floodwaters. More floodwaters damage homes and buildings. Strong winds and heavy rains pummel trees and buildings. More scenes of heavy rains, strong winds, and destruction. A waterspout forms in the ocean. An MV-2 to Osprey tiltrotor aircraft flies over a grassy area near the coast. Floodwaters damage a bridge. Lava flows from a volcano into the ocean. A rug is cleaned with a machine, a brief, peaceful scene. Hurricane Barrel's landfall causes damage to rooftops and trees. Strong winds bend over trees and cause damage to trees. A car drives across a bridge during heavy rain and winds. Floodwaters inundate homes and buildings in a village. More heavy rains and winds. A sinkhole opens up on a city street during heavy rains. Fishermen watch as waves pound the shore. A house slides into a river. A building is battered by strong winds. A snowmobiler rides down a snowy mountainside. Floodwaters rush through a street. More floodwaters surge through a city street. A haboob creates zero visibility. A landslide destroys a section of a building. People swim through floodwaters. A vehicle is submerged in floodwaters. More flooding in a neighborhood. Storm chasers pursue a tornado. Floodwaters engulf a beachside restaurant. A massive landslide sends tons of earth and rock down a mountainside. Orcas hunt in the ocean. More floodwaters rush into a building. A landslide carries away debris down a hillside. A bee feeds on nectar from a flower. More hail falls on the ground. Many motorcycles travel a winding road. An earthquake tilts a building. A woman swims with manta rays. Hail falls in a backyard. A tornado is captured on camera. A haboob approaches a building. The bird's nest in Beijing, China. A mud volcano erupts. Cars are parked in a lot at night, unaware of the earthquake to come. A van is rescued from floodwaters by boat. Floodwaters continue to submerge vehicles. More floodwaters inundate streets and buildings. Heavy rains and winds continue. People stand under a canopy as a storm passes. A sinkhole is shown from above. A cat sits on a surface as dandelion seeds blow by. A worker on a cable points to a fire. A tree is bent over by strong winds. A dust devil forms near some trees. A truck is overloaded with hay bales. Heavy rains and winds batter a neighborhood. Floodwaters inundate a street. A sinkhole opens up on a city street. Floodwaters submerge vehicles. Floodwaters wash debris down a street. Floodwaters submerge vehicles. Floodwaters rush through a concrete channel. A ship sprays sand into the ocean. Severe flooding inundates a Las Vegas street. Floodwaters pour into a basement. A tornado forms in the distance. A combine harvester transfers grain into a truck. A water main bursts. A person tries to get into a Pagani Huayra supercar. Floodwaters inundate a parking lot and submerge vehicles. More heavy rains and winds batter a neighborhood. Rockslide sends boulders into a parking lot. Ocean waves crash against rocks. Workers install rockfall mitigation netting on a steep hillside. More heavy hail falls. Floodwaters sweep debris along. More heavy rains and winds. Security camera footage shows a mudslide. A man describes a flood in a video. A landslide destroys a road and damages a vehicle. A building collapses into a river. A map shows the epicenter of an earthquake. More flooding inundates a street. Leaves blow across a courtyard. Floodwaters engulf vehicles. A bridge is demolished. More heavy hail. A tornado touches down in a field. Debris is thrown into the air by a tornado.